That's okay. Like it's a special quality. And then 8 above the horizon, 4 below. Again, this points to more functional reality. Her common sense and her perspective is more reacting to others without taking it personally, because that would be fourth, fifth, sixth. This is seventh, eighth, ninth house, ninth, eighth, seventh house. These houses. That's your practical reaction, your social interreaction. And above the horizon is the functional career. So she's social functionally strong. Her energy goes out there. Not so much personal projection, although the moon is an area she will project. That's not her strongest thing. Anything she projects, she'll still create the imbalance of it's going to be to make this effect out in the world to get people to react. So I'm reacting in this way, so I'm going to do this, live up to this, I can prove this. So the Aries needs to prove, but the above the horizon is functional, and the setting, reacting to others. This is social functional, participatory, where it's not someone who's inclined to be too much alone, not needs more relevance in terms of being interacting with other people. Angular succeeding Caden. Now here there's a big in the houses. 1 point is angular. It's a Saturn in the 7th. 1 point is angular. 6 points succeeding and 5 points Caden. So still there's a strong adaptability and perceptiveness of the Caden houses, and just as there was in the mutable signs. But here when it comes to material things in the world, there's a very stubborn, determined side, a fixed side. This is the planets in the 8th house and the 11th house and the 5th house. There is a fixity there, a determination, and not that much drive. So in the signs, we saw the by attitude, I'm driving, I'm ready, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go, and I'll adapt it, I'll do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. Just don't stick me in one boring thing. Okay, but when it comes to like job, relationships, practical, worldly concerns, she wants to be determined, wants to be fixed. I'm going to hang in here, and she'll adapt however she has to. But she's not going to try and start things. So there's a contradiction between the signs and the houses, between her spiritual attitude and evolution of her higher of the signs and her worldly circumstances of the houses, which is a little more fixed, adaptable and fixed, but not driving. Intuition 3, thinking 1, sensation 7, feeling 1. So the strong point is her sensation, the sensation quadrant, or sensibility, the ability to adapt and react to other people. She's able to respond without taking it personally. She can respond to when here's this, here's that, I can react this way, I can react that way. But that's the strongest point, the 7 points. Okay. When it comes to the houses of self, relationships, concerns, rewards, or fire, air, earth, water in the houses, wow, no earth in the houses. And 4 water, 5 air, 3 fire. So 5 relations in the houses and worldly things, right? That's thinking about who's got what, what's where, what's fair. This is their strong suit. In the signs, they were far easier about, but water was the low point and earth was the strong. When it comes to the houses, the earth side, practically not practical. There's not so much of a concern. So it's funny, by attitude, I want to be responsible, I want to be concerned. This is practical. But personally, that's not the main issue, being concerned. But resources, the strong issue is communication, is expressing yourself. Expressing what? That's the 3rd house, the 7th house, the 11th house. She's got all planets in those houses. So relationships, friends, communication. So when she took the classes, when she started, she's in this class, and when she started taking, she already was a very well-known astrologer. She had a very large web presence and set things up, and then set it really big, and it actually got bigger than she could handle. And she did bigger she wanted, and she let it go and backed off, and can pick that up anytime. But when you think, just looking at her chart, okay, we'll go through the planets before we go on from this. Yeah. We get to the transits, so I want to just talk about the planets, because she has a very interesting astrologer's chart. She has her Sun, Mercury, and Venus, all in Virgo, ruled by Mercury, which isn't afflicted, all in the 8th house of trust and the psychological house of understanding the depths and the commitments and the trusts and the lack of trust within relationships. That's her strong suit. Wow, astrology, psychology, that's perfect fix, knowing how people get in their problems and what they can do to fix it. That's a strong quality. Okay, the need to express herself. Now, looking at the moon needs to express itself in areas, needs to prove things. It has the opposition to Pluto. It's 9 degrees, but still opposition to Pluto, and the Jupiter and conjunct Jupiter. So sort of whenever she wants to do something, she's going to get adrenaline. She's going to want to do it. She's going to be pumped. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's try and do it. She's got this pumped side, but it's opposed by Pluto. So she has this harshnesses around closeness. She had to, when she was born, her mom had a rough time, and she wasn't necessarily the mom had a difficult delivery, and she got necessity upbringing, not sympathetic upbringing. No water in the chart, or very little water in the chart. So she didn't get sympathy. She like the boy named Sue. She had to grow up on her own and be tough, be strong, and survive. So you wouldn't see the moon Pluto till you try and get close. And when you get close, she wouldn't want to put up with anybody that's interfering with what she's doing. If she meets people that let her do things, that would be really strong. But she's the thinker. She knows what she's doing. That's strong, but it's strong. So there's a certain fear across. She has trouble slowing down and stopping to just be secure at home. So there's a difficulty with the closeness or sympathies. When the moon's it gets put into action, gets put into expression. So the moon, but even the moon, Jupiter, in the 3rd house, that's really good for teaching, learning, expressing, understanding the things going on. She has the need to do that, to understand her actions and need to understand her life. And there's the Jupiter, it exaggerates the moon, so it makes feelings magnified but controlled. The controlled feelings get magnified. Really, it's an impulse to travel. It's an impulse to go to, if this isn't good, I'm out of here, I'm doing something different. How that comes out. But it's a positive thing for astrology, for understanding, seeing different ways of things and needing to learn things. And the psychology part of the astrology is really deep in the 8th house. Okay, so this is strong. So the moon, the Mercury is unafflicted. It's sextile to Saturn, but everything else, it's just sitting pretty in the 8th house. Common sense is likely to be this, but that. She sees really clearly how things should be and what trust is, what business can be done, how things can be done. She's smart. That's good for astrology again, but for other businesses as well. But her Sun Venus, Sun Venus in the 8th house is basically usually a good thing. It's like, I know what I want. I can charm to get the things I want. I know how to go and make money or get people to work with me, to trust me, to be liked, to be appreciated. This is how to respond to get to be appreciated. She has things she can do that other people appreciate her. This is a strong suit, that Sun Venus conjunct. If you like her, she'll get. If she gets the response that you like her, it's a setting. These are all setting. About the right. She gets a response that she likes you. She'll talk. She'll communicate. She'll do things for you. She'll be very active for you. Whereas if she gets a response that you don't like her, it's going to be hard. She won't. If you don't like her, she's not going to trust you. Or she may need to prove that she can be trusted. But this is a puzzle of this. Now, the Sun, conjunct Venus, they work like together. So emotions, being appreciated, being liked is important. Okay. Now, but it's squared by Mars. So with the Mars squaring the Venus, it makes it tends to be a rowdy thing. It tends to make one push a little faster. When you want something, you push a little faster. Sometimes you get spoiled the quality of it. I'm going to go do this. I did this. I'm doing this. But sometimes you push by Mars squaring it, it can push the quality of the Venus. It can challenge what the results are, what the appreciation comes, because we push for it a little too fast. And then the same way with the Mars Sun, it's assertive, it's competitive, it's easy to get over adrenaline and to get worked up and be. And now this is all setting, so to be responding to, it's easy for someone to get her angry, or if you don't like her, she's not going to have patience, and she's going to have trouble keeping a lid on that. Okay, so that's the Mars in the 5th house. So this is the depths of relationships, It's the performance, the Mars in the 5th house. Hey, all right. But it's square the sun, and it's not affecting, that's not affecting the Mercury. The thinking is really good. It's affecting the quality of satisfaction. There's a tendency to perhaps start relationships too fast, or to push a little too fast, or a little too hard for a relationship, or to end up with struggles, fights over what one wants or doesn't want. Okay, now the other aspect, this is a T-square, so it's tied to the Neptune. The Neptune's opposing the Mars and squaring the Mercury and the Venus. This is a huge T-square. It's one of the main complexes. She has 2 T-squares in her chart. Nothing comes easy. When you have T-squares, nothing comes easy. It can be very stressful in the world. It can be very brilliant spiritually. If the intensity works up right, it's the exact energy that can wake you up. But usually, it can tie you into really difficult things too. So here's this Virgo, fuzzy, meticulous, detailed, specific, common sense. But what she wants, there's fights for it. There's the timing's difficult, Venus, Mars. One pushes when one shouldn't, one backs off when one shouldn't. Like it creates a rowdiness or challenges. And they're immutable signs, so you can say multiple challenges to Venus and Mars, giving and receiving love, timing. The Neptune coming into square all of this. Neptune squares the Mars. It's confusion around sexuality and energy. It can be more evasive and aloof, or it can be messianic or fanatical, or very evasive and aloof, but it's in the 5th to 11th house. So this is the puzzle of who's a friend. Oh, I believe in my friend. I trust them. We could be lovers, friends and lovers. 5th, 11th, that's a struggle. So it's difficult to find reliable guys, or even to be consistently dependable and reliable oneself, who wants to be smothered. So the Mars, which is normally aggressive, gets weakened by the Neptune. And the Neptune makes it either fanatically pumped or usually more evasive. I'm out of here. I don't want this. No, I'm not there. I'm not into this. It can be more disassociative from this. So she can meet many people with big dreams. And then how much, I don't know if I want to live up to it. I don't know if I want to do that. She can say, I'm not sure if I fit into that. She has that puzzle there to the Mars. So, but this weakens the Mars energy. So there's a need to do things for oneself and not over rely on others, but she creates codependent relationships. She can attract the alcoholic or the bad guy, or somebody expecting too much of her or too little. If someone expects too little of her, ignoring her, she might want to prove things a lot to get the attention. If someone's giving her too much attention, she might say, who needs this? It's the puzzle of Neptune. And part of the challenge of this in any relationship, how are the energies of togetherness, 8th house, trusted and used? Does an equal amount of money go to my friends or to your friends? Are we each into each other's world? She has complications on this issue. What do I have to do? What has to be done? Confusing. How much I'm loved or appreciated. This is really a codependency problem. It creates interdependent relationships. It can be very aloof and evasive. Create multiple relationships that are very, I'm here, I'm not, I'm out of here, I'm out of here. It could be one over dedicated relationship, but she's not got so much fixed stuff. So it's, how does she find the right guy? She didn't come from a family. She can't trust the family she came out of. She can't trust her roots. So she's on an adventure to find who's trustworthy and where she can be trustworthy. But there's a lot of puzzles here around passion, around giving, taking, receiving, a lot of confusion. What should I get? Difficult to make choices. Sun, Venus, squared by Neptune. Easy to act on choices, even if they're not good choices. Whoa.